I sent a whole bunch of Cthulhu Death May Die miniatures to 6 different Fiverr artists, including this big beast here, and I paid them $100 each. The stakes? They've got one shot to impress me, win my business for future commissions, and feature in this video. Let's see if they brought their A game or if my amateur work could have done better.
What is this, amateur hour?
I gave each artist the same terms, $10 for the small miniatures, and then I sent them either 2 medium size for $50 total, or 1 big miniature like this guy here. $50 for the big guy, $10 each for the small 5 guys. That's a total of $100 to each Fiverr artist to see who can impress me the most. Now the directions I gave for the 5 smaller miniatures were that I just wanted them to be table ready. Quick, $10, table ready, that's it. But for the bigger miniatures, to get it at competition level. I wanted this to be an impressive piece.
Ooh, impressive.
Those are the directions I gave. 5 table ready and 1 competition level. As someone who paints minis myself and even won first place in a painting competition, I know what to look for. Clean blends, great detail work, and most importantly, did they complete the mission? All right, let's meet the Fiverr artists.
Okay, now let's meet our contestants.
First up, we have Katie. Katie has all 5-star ratings. Her artwork looks pretty good on here. She's got a few pretty nice looking miniatures on here. This guy looks pretty cool. I like the little red teeth, the blood effects there. She does some nice basing. The next artist I've got is Simply Shaw. This is Colin G at Simply Shaw. Looking to feed my addiction to painting miniatures. Let's look at some of his work here. That's pretty impressive. I like the shading. I mean, he definitely knows what he's doing. Let's see, these guys look pretty cool. The next Fiverr artist I've got is Tofu Minis. All right, Tofu Minis, work looks pretty good. He's got some basing, good shading on his pictures. So this is Tofu Minis, and we'll take a look at his work in just a second. The next artist I've got is Havoc Minis. He's got lots of pictures on these different reviews. Wow, that one looked pretty good. Let's see this guy. That looks really cool. Okay, let's go on to the next artist. Next one I've got is Maximilan G, Mothhammer Minis. Let's see his work here. That guy looks pretty good. Here's some of his other work he's done. Cool. He painted a whole army for this person. There it is right there. So he painted that whole army. That is Maximilan G. The last one I have is Treehouse Minis. All right, Treehouse Minis, miniature painting service, doing commissions for over a decade, just new to Fiverr. And this guy looks pretty cool. Let's see this one. Wow. Some of these miniatures are just incredible. Very grim dark style there. Let's see what else. It looks pretty cool. Overall, all of these artists were very impressive. I like the shading on there. It's hard to get good shading. That's one of the toughest things, getting good blends on your paint jobs, especially if you paint with acrylic. I've noticed ever since I switched from painting with acrylics to painting with oils, it's a lot easier to get good blends with oils. Oils are much more forgiving. I feel like you can paint a really awesome model a little bit faster because it's just more forgiving. Anyway, highly recommend James Wapple. If anybody knows who that is, James Wapple, W-A-P-P-E-L. Look him up on YouTube if you're interested in oil painting. And he's the best there is, in my opinion. Back to the Fiverr gig. Let's go open those packages and see how they did.
Now, I am making your silver pants blue.
All right, the first Fiverr artist we're gonna take a look at is Katie. All right, let's see. So this is one of the hero characters. So this is Borden, same colors. Looks like pretty good shading, not bad. No mistakes that I can really see. There is shading on the dress. Not bad. Not bad for the first one. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, this is one of the bad guys. This is a cultist. So this cultist, he's a similar color, if not the same color that she used on the red dress. A red cultist. Of course, he was red to begin with. No basing on either of these. Looks like she just went for the black standard base, matte finish, but he looks pretty good from what I can tell. Some nice detail work on the headdress and his little necklace, and the book looks nice and aged and weathered, and you can see even the little tiny ring. She made sure to get that silver. Not bad, like it. And remember, these are all just supposed to be painted table ready. Very cool. Well done. The flames look awesome. The shading and the pants look really nice. You can tell she put the extra work in to put the highlights along with the shading on those pants. That really pops. Coat looks nice. Some shading on the coat, even the pockets. You can see she put some little highlights where those need to go. Face looks good. The hair looks good. Even some different shading in the hair. Overall, looks very good. Is it black on the bottom of that, or did she color that actually? Oh, it looks like she colored the bottom brown. Okay, so the cultist has a gray base, so she just went with a straight color on those rather than actual doing any extras on the base. That's fine. This is one of the little bad guy monsters here. He's got his mouth open, and you can tell that she did go ahead and paint that tongue with a little dark red color. And she's got some color in the mini down here. I'm not sure. There's a little bit of red in there, but mainly looks gray, kind of a gray wash. Looks cool. I'm interested. I sent a few of these out, so I'm interested to see how other people painted that the same. And then, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fatima. So I checked. She did paint this. She sent me an image of it. I will have to message her and see if she forgot to ship that one. So there might be a little follow-up to this. In the meantime, let's get to, oh my gosh, the basing on this. She based it nicely. This is Cthulhu. This is the main baddie. So she got the #1 bad guy in this game, Cthulhu. And man, does he look good. He looks amazing. Wow. Oh yeah. I like the shading that she did on his tentacles. I like the colors. I like the shading in his wings. I like the color in the boils. Oh my gosh. I like the basing that she put down here. She got some little stones. Like, I don't think this came with anything on the basing at all. So I think she added these little column bits in here. They look really nice, along with some moss on the ground. This is awesome. This is badass. Claws look good. His fingernails. Really cool. Really impressed. Very impressed with Cthulhu. And let's get on to the next artist. The next Fiverr artist we have is Simply Shaw. Let's take a look at his. He went ahead and based these, so extra points for that.
It appears someone's gunning for extra credit.
This guy, he's got a revolver, kind of a mustard yellow jacket and suit, and a fez on top. It's like a Turkish guy with a briefcase. The basing looks good. We've got a little tuft of grass there, a little log sticking out of the ground, bits and twigs. That looks pretty good. So this is Ahmed. So Ahmed even has purple on the inside of his coat. I wonder, oh look at that, he did. He went so far as to put the extra detail of the purple on the inside of the coat. That looks nice. The shading looks nice. The weather, everything looks nice. A little bit of kind of a glossy finish, matte. Like he went with maybe like a half matte semi-gloss varnish on here. That looks really good. I like that a lot. He's this little girl. So the kid has a red dress with little white polka dots on it. Looks like he just went with a red dress. Didn't try to do any of the little polka dots. It would have been nice if he tried to freehand those polka dots, but that's okay.
That feels like a real missed opportunity.
Now I did give everybody the creativity. I said you don't have to go exactly like the box art shows. Said you can feel free to do it how you want, but the blending is very good. Blending in the flames is very good. The hair looks good, the blonde hair, and the basing. I'm glad he went the extra mile and did a little bit of basing on here. Okay, and then this guy, one of the cultists, blending on this coat looks okay. Could have made the highlights pop a little bit more, I think, and the shadows a little bit darker overall pretty good. Like that. There's another character that's a good guy. Adam. He's got a shotgun and a pipe and a red vest and a green jacket, and he did a really good job with that. And you can see the red vest and the green jacket and the tan pants. Got kind of a weathered look. The blending and the shadows look pretty good on this. I think the highlights could have been a little bit more, maybe make those pop a little bit more. But as far as for $10 for each one of these pieces, so far I'm very impressed. Everything looks pretty good. And then here's a little baddie. I like the flesh color on this guy. That was a good idea. Dark red flesh in the bottom and like a white, pale, creepy looking flesh on top. He did color the fur differently, so there is a little bit of a brown color to the fur. That looks nice. Overall, very good job with that guy. Okay, now let's take a look at the monsters that are in here. So I gave him 2 medium-sized monsters, and these are the ones that I asked him to paint competition level ready. So the fact that these are just table ready, and he went through the extra effort of doing the basing, and as far as table ready, very impressed with these. Let's take a look at these bad guys here. Looks like he went for the same fleshy color on all the bad guys. All these monsters. Okay, this little guy, he looks cool. Got the flames, red to yellow. I think there could be a little bit more contrast in that. The flesh looks great. Until he spent a little bit more time doing the dark shadows and the highlights. So he looks like he did a wash on here to get in the dark recesses. Overall, not bad. He did really good with the blending. I don't see any obvious streaks, or overall the color of the blending. The purple down to the pink right here looks really good. Not bad there. All right, so this little fleshy monster, he looks really good. I like that he went with a dark/bright pink color on each one of these little boils in there. Those really pop out. That sticks out very nicely. He goes from a bright pink flesh down to a faded pale flesh, and then into almost like a disgusting infected greenish dark flesh there. And then on the back looks kind of all very much the same. Like he went dark pink on the back. I think there could have been a little bit more highlights back here to make this part pop, but overall, very impressed. He probably didn't spend a whole lot of time doing the basing, but just enough to make it look better than if you left it without any basing whatsoever. So kudos on doing the basing, but I give it a pass on the base. All right, let's see what the other people did. All right, next up is Tofu Minis, and oh my goodness. I'm impressed already. So first off, there is some basing on here. Not super crazy. No tufts of grass or anything, but you can tell that he did put a little bit of basing effort in there. I don't know what he used, but he definitely put some mud. It looks like some muddy, dirty ground that all of these characters are on. So let's look at these first. So this monster here, we've already looked at one like this. The teeth look good, the mouth is open, there's the red tongue, a little bit more red in the cheeks, a little bit more color in this one. I kind of like that. Put a little color all over the place, a little bit more detail. The shading, darker down here. You can tell this was a quick job, but he did it pretty good. I like that so far. That little monster, this guy, the cultist, lots of detail. The hand goes to a little white undershirt and then to a black overshirt and then to the red. That makes that pop really nicely. I like that he spent the time to put that extra detail in there. The shading looks nice. The blending looks nice. The base is okay. Oh, and he put little dots on the coat going down. That looks very nice. The book looks good on both sides. Okay, I'm liking this guy. What's the next one? A little Indiana Jones looking guy. Okay, Morgan. So Morgan is like a black Indiana Jones. He's got the darker skin color. He's got the Indiana Jones hat. He's got the shirt. He's got the pistol. I think the pistol maybe could have been a little bit more silver or a little brighter color to make that stand out. You can tell he used a darker leather on the straps and a lighter leather on the pants so that you can tell the difference. He's got a whip. That's another darker leather. Looks pretty good. Looks good for a quick $10 $10 paint job. Now we've got, who's this lady? Elizabeth. Elizabeth, black lady with a yellow dress and a green hat. Did good with that. Got the dark skin color. Shoes look like they're green to match her little waistband there. I think maybe we could have gone with a little bit brighter highlights on some of the parts, but overall it looks really good. I mean, I can see the highlights. I can see that he did some nice shading and some nice blending. Doesn't really pop as much with her as it does with these others. Looks like he did a wash, maybe. That's how he did a little bit of the blending. Looks good though. So far, looks very good. Okay, this is the nun. Sister Beth. Sister Beth has a knife and a gun. A nice blue sash. So the sash on her waist, the highlighting there pops. Like that really pops. And then so does the white. Her eyeglasses are blue. Like he used a real light blue on the eyeglasses. I'm not sure about that. Looks almost like got little blue glasses. The rest looks really good. Now let's look at the competition piece. Now this looks really good. I don't know what I like better so far as all the competition pieces that I've seen, but this is definitely one of the most impressive ones I've seen so far. Honestly, I like this paint job better than the box art. I am really impressed. You can tell he took a little bit more creativity. On the box art, these teeth are black and there's not a whole lot that pops out to you. But this is impressive. This pops. This is really cool. You can see his hands. The flesh color of his hands is perfect. The darkness in his face, he's got just a nothing there. Little flesh on his skin there. The yellow, very grim, dark yellow. The highlights look good on the yellow. He's definitely brighter. Got the zenithal highlighting. And then these tentacles look really good. But man, these teeth on whatever he's riding on, or if this is just part of him, I don't know. But that looks really cool. All these little teeth in the back. That's hard to reach with a brush. This was definitely had to be a very difficult piece to try to paint, to try to reach all of those teeth. Really cool. The blending on this red orb here, whatever these little fleshy orbs are underneath there, that's just a really good choice of color to make that distinct and different. And then there's some purple in here. Okay, next up we have Havoc Minis. The Priest. Priest looks good. There's basing on here. A little bit shinier on the varnish, like a semi-gloss. A little higher gloss than the other ones, but that's okay. That helps protect the paint job. And it makes his scalp look shinier. That's good. You can tell there's a little extra detail on the Bible. Like he painted the cross a little bit different color on the Bible. Makes that stand out. The pages on the Bible they look white like pages of the Bible. So the detail looks pretty good. The shoes look good. It looks good. All right, let's go to the next one. This little monster guy. You can see that his teeth are painted a little bit whiter. His fur is kind of glossy. I think that's just because of the varnish, the gloss varnish that he used. It would have been nice to have that be more of a matte, but I can fix that myself by putting a matte varnish over top of the gloss. It'll take the gloss away. That's an easy fix. The blending on the flesh here looks pretty good. The shading, not too bad. And remember, these were supposed to be just $10 quick batch painting jobs, so not bad. Wow, this red coat that he's wearing, you can tell he went with a little bit more of an orange color to make it highlight, and that's exactly what you should use to highlight red, is like an orangish color. And then the dark red shading in the back definitely makes this pop a little bit more. It doesn't look so dark. That's one of the problems with painting, is a lot of times you work really hard on something and it ends up looking too dark when you're done with it. And he did a good job in here with the orange, maybe a little yellow mixed in to make this pop and make it stand out more, but it still looks like it's a red coat. That looks nice. All right, little police officer wearing all blue. Got some nice highlights in the coat there. Makes that pop, makes it stand out. Highlights on the top, the zenithal highlighting looks good. Got the black leather detail, a little detail on his little gold badge, and the gold badge in his hat. The silver gun could be a little bit brighter, but still looks pretty good. The hand grip, you can even see that he made the gun brown. That had to be hard to get the tiny little paintbrush in there to paint the grip on the gun. You know, he did the basing, and it's like a brown mud base. You can tell it looks sandier. There's no varnish on it at all, so it makes it look sandy dirty and dusty compared to how glossy the miniatures are. Let's see, let's take a look at our last piece here. And this is Ian. He's got one arm. They have us surrounded, those poor bastards. Looks pretty good. Nice job with all of the different colors. Brown. The metals, I think for the metals on his coat, I might have tried to do like a gold or silver or something, make those pop. The chevrons on the side look okay. I think those could pop a little bit more, but overall, good, table ready, good job. It's hard to get detail on these little guys. Now let's get to the competition level piece. This is the $50 piece right here. Wow, this guy looks awesome. Man, the wings look great. The wings look great. The tentacles look great. The tentacles coming out of his mouth, they start off purple and then they go to like a brown gray color and then like this fleshy, darkish green almost at the very end. The green on this monster looks great. The gloss looks really good on this guy, that's for sure. Maybe could have done a little bit more on the back as far as the detail goes with these little spines. It would have been neat to see those have a little bit more contrast in the color there. The shading, I think, could have went a little bit darker in some of the shadier spots on here, been a little bit more of the zenithal on his actual skin would have been nice, but overall this is really impressive, especially the front. When you look at him from the front and that focus on his face, how white the flesh color is on the face, and then you've got red, almost like little red horns on the top. Very impressed. The basing on this guy is kind of the same basing as the rest of these. It would have been nice to see a little bit more effort on the base of this guy, but very nice paint job. Looks really good. That's definitely going to be an impressive piece on the table. All right, let's get on to the next one. So that was Havoc Minis. We've got two more. The next one is Maximilan G, so let's take a look at his. All right, here we go, Maximilan G. Let's see what you got for me. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments which ones you like the best. Okay, let's take a look in here. Oh man, it looks good. Looks good so far. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 little guys. Matte finish on these instead of a varnish, a gloss varnish. I like that. Let's see. And then there's another little bad guy in here and the big bad guy on top. Okay, here's this little baddie. All right, first off, it looks like a little of the paint came off on this little baddie on the side there. That's okay, that's an easy touch up, easy fix for me. He looks good, kind of just a gray wash really on him, but looks good, table ready. Painted the little inside there white, painted the inside of his mouth red on the tongue, white teeth, looks good. Now these guys look pretty good. Let's look at this other bad guy here. The red coat looks good, the blending looks good, nice, even blends. Overall, I'm very impressed. All of these artists, you can tell, are true miniature painters, good artists. I like that he took the extra effort to put some freehand on this book that's open. He drew little lines on there to make it look like there's writing in the book. That looks nice. Okay, this guy, Pitchfork Farmer Dude, he's got the blue overalls, he's got the yellow straw hat, he's got a green shirt, brown stick on the pitchfork with a silver end to the pitchfork. It looks pretty good. Maybe could have done a little bit more with the highlights on the pitchfork, maybe make it pop a little bit more. Those points could look a little sharper, I think, but overall looks really good. No basing on these characters, by the way, and I didn't ask any of them to do basing, but if they asked me, I did mention that I do like basing on miniatures, but I did leave it up to them, whatever they thought. If they wanted to do basing, they could just do whatever they wanted. So overall, it's just personal preference. The clean black look is perfectly fine. Good shading, good color. All right, we've got a blonde-haired lady with a gun and some red shoes. She's holding a book. Shading looks okay. All the colors make sense. Looks good. All right, and then the sailor dude. I was in the Navy, so I appreciate the sailor guy looking good. Except the sailor guy's got a beard. Guess what? When you're in the military, you're not allowed to have a beard. But that's what they did. That's the artwork on this guy. He's got a beard. I wish I could have had a beard in the Navy. It would have been nice. I like it. Very good there. Now let's look at the competition piece. This is Yog Sothoth. Nasty looking. His yellow teeth. He's got yellow teeth everywhere. I like the choice of color for the yellow. I think overall for this, monster. The white color of him, how's he look in the picture? I guess that is how he looks in the picture. Okay, you know what? I actually like the purple that was added for the shade here better than the actual picture itself. So I was about to say that I don't like how chalky the white looks, but you can see in the picture it looks pretty pasty and chalky in the actual artwork too. So that's just kind of keeping it true with the art. Oh man, this is a nasty looking creature. He's got like a face up at the top, sticking his tongue out. These tentacles do the tentacles have teeth on them? Also, that is nasty. That's gnarly looking. The red coming out of the mouth, his little tongues or whatever they are, more tentacles coming out. Very good job on all of this. And he's got hands, like a hand with a claws coming out, with a tentacle coming out of the claw. Super weird looking creature. Good job on the paint job. Not bad. Man, look at the teeth. That had to be hard to get the paintbrush back in there. He definitely spent some time getting every single one of these teeth that are in the deep, hard, recessed spots. Some of these tentacles on the bottom here, I think maybe he could have gone with a pink color to make those stand out a little bit more instead of just being the chalky white. Same thing on the front. Of course, that's your own creative preference. You had a good day? Sorry. This guy looks pretty good. Very impressed. I like it a lot. And just heard from Katie. She did get back to me. She found the piece that she meant to send in the box. She said she's really sorry. She communicated really fast with me. She said she's going to mail it out right away. I'll make sure to get that addition to hers into this video. And let's get on to the final artist. Last artist is Treehouse Minis. All right, last one, Treehouse Minis. Let's take a look. All right, first one. Okay, just went for a black basing. A little dark gray on the boots and a little gray knee pads and the dark brown, and the skin color's kind of dark. I can see that there's some highlights in the blue shirt, so that looks good. You can see the flesh on the face contrasting with the black hair. The red on the hat looks good. Let's see what the other ones look like. Let's see. All right, this guy, the cultist, is kind of a darker, muted color red, but you can see the blends. You can tell that the blends in the coat look really nice. Very smooth blends. Flesh on the hands. Again, not super bright on the highlights, but looks good. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Oh, I like the color here. This one looks a little bit brighter. I like how the highlights are almost more on the bottom of this coat compared to the top, which makes sense if there's like fur on the back of the coat casting a little shadow, and then it's brighter on the bottom where it fans out more. That makes sense. The highlights look pretty good on the inside part. Has a dark color on the inside of sleeves there for the shadow. That looks nice. And the gold really pops on jewelry on the front there, and that had to be hard to get. Just that one little spot gold, that had to be a tough, tricky spot. Looks pretty good. The green hood looks good. Nice blending job there. All right, next. Oh, this one looks really good. Dark brown skin color. The skull, I think maybe the skull and the rest of the shirt and the bones on the head, they all look like the same kind of white color. The highlights look pretty good. The leather back here is a different color than the white up top, almost a little bit more of a cream color. That looks very nice. The sword, I can't tell if that's in a sheath or if that's supposed to be the actual sword there. Has like a little bit of a silver to it, but you can definitely see a lot of detail here. The spear has a little bit of a shine to it. The highlights and the shading on that look pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Okay, this guy, a little fleshy guy. Okay, definitely can tell a difference in the color on his fur. That pops a little bit more because he went with a very dark, muddy brown for the fur, but there's not really a whole lot of highlights on the top of the fur. It would have been nice to see the darker parts of the fur being dark and then a little bit of feathering and highlights on the top of the fur to make that pop a little bit more and look like fur. But I like the contrast of the colors to make sure that you can see that it is fur and know that it's not part of the rest of the flesh color. He went for kind of a white flesh with a purple shade It looks pretty good. You can see the dark shade in the eyes. That looks good. The yellow teeth. This guy looks mean. Looks scary. I like it. And now for the big competition level piece here. Last one. Last competition level piece to take a look at. Which one is this? Oh, this is the big, what is it? This guy. The black goat of the woods monster. Looks like he went for a lot more purple. Oh, wow. Oh, that looks sharp. The scars on his belly are like a bright pink color. He's got some bright pink boils that pop out into a pentagram. That's cool. I didn't even notice that on the actual box art. And it's hard to see on the actual box art. It's easier to see on this. He did a really good job making sure that that stuck out. Very cool. A little circle on the top part. I like it. Definitely a different color scheme, as you can see. A lot more pinks and purples compared to the actual box art. Very nice. I like it. I think it looks really good. I think these colors work. The shading looks really cool. Up on the top, there's some blues, there's some purples, the white, there's the pink, the boils. You can tell he put little white spots inside the boils to make them bright and make them pop more noticeable out there. That's a nice little highlight. Very well done. The horns, the blending on the horns on the top. It's really hard to blend, especially with acrylics. Getting a nice good blend on these tentacles is not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of skill. And the back looks really good. The shading. I tell you what, it's going to be hard to pick. I'm going to have to spend some time looking at these, and I'm going to choose my favorite competition level piece separate from my favorite mini level piece. We'll go over that next. All right, this was not an easy decision. Big kudos to all the artists. I think everybody did a great job. And here we are with the final results. As far as the winners for these, instead of just picking one winner that I'm going to use for future commission pieces, I'm actually going to use a few of them because I like what a few of them did enough where I think I can use more than one of these artists. I don't just have one favorite. Without further ado, for the best cultist number one, I went with Havoc Minis. Havoc Minis had the best cultist number one. So congratulations to Havoc Minis. You did the best job with that cultist. Best cultist number two, this is the one that was holding the book. This was a tough choice. I almost went with Maximilan G because of the free text writing in your book. I thought that was a great addition. I wish more people were doing a little bit more freehand like you did on that one. But I had to give this one to Tofu Minis overall. I liked the white on the cuff going back to the black and then to the red. I thought that was really nice, and I thought you did the best job overall with this cultist. So Tofu Minis, number one, first place for cultist number two. Next, we have the best baddie number one. Baddie number one I've got as the dog, the cowardly dog-looking werewolf baddie. And that one is going to Simply Shaw. Simply Shaw, I thought you did the best job with this baddie number one. Baddie number two is the screaming one, the one with the hands out, the claws, and like the screaming alien type bad guy. And that one is also going to Tofu Minis. Congratulations, Tofu Minis. You did the best job on Screaming Alien number two, in my opinion. Everybody else, let me know in the comments below if you agree with my decisions or if you think someone else did better. Now we're getting to the best heroes. The best heroes, everybody had 3 heroes that they painted. And overall, for the best heroes, I'm giving number 2, second place, runner-up to first place, is Treehouse Minis. Treehouse Minis, you got second place for best heroes. Runner-up, best heroes. Treehouse Minis, congratulations. And the winner for best minis, for the best heroes overall, goes to Simply Shaw, or Colin G. Congratulations. I think you did the best job with the hero minis. Really applaud your effort there. I think you did a great job with adding the little bit of basing on there. That was an excellent addition, and I think that in any competition, adding that little bit extra in the basing really helps, just like doing a little bit of freehand really helps. It just shows you're going that extra mile. Finally, competition level pieces. The big guys, the awesome ones, the ones that are everyone's going to be focusing on when they play the game at the table. They're going to be looking at these guys. If you're having them on a display stand in your house somewhere, these are the ones that people are going to look at and they're going to say, wow, this is going to showcase your artwork. This is showing your artist's ability. These are the ones that I think did the best job. Third place,
how do I choose?
Goes to Havoc Minis. This is Havoc Minis. I thought you did an excellent job. The only thing that I would say I would have added a little bit differently is maybe on the back, putting a little bit more color in the spine area or changing how the back of this guy looks. Just adding a little bit more detail there would have really brought this guy up. And also using varnish as part of your art, I think is a very good idea. So if you have slimy tentacles, put a gloss varnish on there. And then if you have a matte dry finish on something else, put a matte varnish on that. And it's really going to make your artwork pop. I don't think enough artists use that enough, but that is a really great technique for miniature artists to use. Congratulations to Havoc Minis. You got third place as far as the competition level pieces go. Second place goes to Tofu Minis. Tofu Minis. Man, this blew me away.
Ooh, impressive.
The choice you made on not sticking with the box art and throwing some extra color in here. The teeth, the bright pink, the red on the bottom of this guy. I mean, you went completely away. I think the box art, it was just all black on the bottom, and you added a ton of color in there. It really made this piece pop, and I think you just did an awesome job overall. Very impressive piece. I don't know that I would add or change anything that you did other than maybe the blending on the tentacles could have been a little bit more eye-popping, or maybe throw some gloss varnish on there. I really don't know. I think you did an excellent job. Anybody else wants to add some comments, please let me know in the comments how you think these guys did with theirs. And then number one, first place is going to go to Katie D.
Did I win?
No, I won easily.
I forget how to say your entire last name, so I've just been writing you down as Katie D. Katie, you did an awesome job with Cthulhu. You had the number one most important bad guy in the game, and you did not disappoint. This guy looks amazing. I love the fact that you did a gloss varnish on the tentacles to make those look slimy, and then you did a matte varnish on everything else. Even in the boils, it looks like you used a gloss varnish in there to really make those look wet and stand out. That was an amazing job. And then you by far had the best basing out of anybody on this guy, using the little pieces of column there that really stands out. You did an awesome job. You got the number one spot. Congratulations. First place goes to Katie. I will be contacting you guys for commissions in the future, so
Oh, I like money.
Yeah.
keep a lookout in your Fiverr message.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
And everybody else that's watching this, please let me know in the comments down below if you agree with my choices. Let me know, do you paint your own minis, or have you ever hired somebody, commissioned somebody to paint your minis for you? Or do you just not care? Do you leave all your minis in the box and just say, who cares? We're playing the game. The game is more important than the minis. I tend to agree that the game is more important than the minis, but one of the first games that I got that had miniatures in it was Scythe. And when I opened the box and I saw these plain minis that were just gray, I just thought they looked like crap. I said, why didn't the game company just go ahead and paint these? Why are they sending me these gray pieces of crap? So that's when I started my mini painting, and I've been addicted to it ever since. I love it, but I just don't have the time. I ended up with a very large game collection. I've got tons of games. I've got tons of minis that I haven't painted. I've got minis sitting in my garage in my painting area that I started working on a year ago, and I just haven't gotten back to finishing them yet. Life is busy, and I prioritize getting games to the table over actually painting the miniatures, which has led me to think that using Fiverr, paying $50 to get a mini that looks like this, that looks better than what I could do in 5 hours of working on this miniature, I would rather pay $50 so that I don't have to spend 5 hours working on it, have somebody else do it. I think I will keep painting minis. I'm not going to stop painting minis myself, I'm gonna pick my favorite ones that I want to paint for myself.
Now I am making your silver pants blue.
If there's minis I really don't care about, then I'll just let my kids paint those or leave them unpainted. And if there's minis that I want to get painted so that I can enjoy playing the game, but I don't have time to paint them, then I'm going to use these Fiverr artists. I mean, what a freaking deal. $50 to get a guy looking like this, $10 per mini for the little guys. I mean, that's a steal. These artists, they're great artists. They deserve the support. I know they don't make a whole lot of money on these things, so let's do what we can as gamers and help support these excellent artists that are out there. So I encourage everybody to check out these Fiverr artists. I think they all did a great job. Leave me some comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notifications when I have new videos coming out, and I'll see you on the next one.